Today we're going to answer that age-old question of who would win between 50 overpowered gods and 500 idiots. So the first thing we're going to need are the gods. We're going to use 50 humans for that, which looks something like this.
You know, I was God once.
Yes, I saw. You were doing well until everyone died.
Now over here on what we're going to lovingly call the stupid side of the island, I'm going to spawn 500 orcs, mostly because they don't like humans. Now that's what 500 soon-to-be morons looks like. And notice the shape of the world. My plan is that as they use up the resources, they slowly funnel closer to each other, at which point they're not going to get along very well. Now before I let them get too spread out, we need to give them their applicable traits. So for the orcs, they're going to have things like unlucky, short-sighted, and most importantly, stupid. To add insult to injury, they're also going to be weak and tiny. Then we just give them a little sprinkle of stupid. And then to turn these humans into gods, we give them things like immortal, so they can't die from old age, blessed because they're gods, giant, and most importantly, genius, also strong and tough.
Fair enough.
So we'll give them a sprinkle of all that stuff, then we'll let them get started on their little adventure. Right away, the gods/humans have spread out really widely. Not entirely sure why they decided to do that, but they're the geniuses, not me. The orcs are kind of doing the same, with most of their population staying here in, oh no, right where they belong. I'm sure their stupid tiny society will thrive all by itself. I'm not sure if there's already some fighting or not. The population has dropped by almost 100 already. Oh, okay, we have a little bit of fighting. One of the gods is bullying the tiny little orcs because he should be much stronger. He has 27 attack, 200 health, whereas a tiny little orc has 19 attack and 85 health. Plus the gods will slowly regenerate health, so that's fine. Oh, this is a human settlement. The orcs are attacking him. Well, he's now the gatekeeper. He's on stupid side of the island and he's happy to be here. There should be plenty of resources, but there's pretty clearly a line in the sand from stupid orcs to godly humans. And I think the orcs are just going to continually attack the humans here because they don't like them. The humans are much stronger though. If they hit them with numbers, they probably can't kill them. Well, so far so good. It's nothing overly exciting yet, but it's not supposed to be. Everyone's just supposed to settle in, the population is supposed to balance out, and then they'll start to thrive. I don't have high hopes for this place. He has been keeping the orcs on their side of the playground, but he's down to 1 population. So we're going to turn speed up to ×5 and we're going to let the empires slowly build themselves. We already have an orc king over here. This is basically a battle of quantity versus quality. The humans are super quality genius gods. The orcs are tiny little stupid weak idiots. But there's definitely a lot of them. They've actually encompassed a large part of the island already. So they're soon going to run out of resources, at which point they're going to have to face the humans, which is going to be an uphill battle. I just realized I need to change something. As the capital of the stupid side of the island, you guys need to be the idiots. I'm assuming they will eventually eat up the rest of the empires, but we'll see. The biggest empire on the god side has 24 people so far, but that is 24 gods, so they're actually going to be pretty strong. They're already level 3. They have a knowledge gain of 4.5 because they're smart, and they already have culture spread and house tier 1. I kind of thought these islands were a little bigger. They're going to run out of room sooner than later. But that just means they're going to have to fight sooner than later. Okay, the population is suddenly booming. We're getting way past where we initially started at 550. The biggest empire is over here at 301, but the humans and orcs are now bordering on each other. They're not going to love that very much. This empire up here, the white one, has taken over as a dominant empire on the human side. I think they even have a standing army. Yep, they have 5 soldiers out of a maximum 16 currently. They need to build more houses to expand, but they're going to need more room for that. They have a little bit of room to grow into though. The orcs are the ones that are running out of room, so they're going to have to push into these guys. They even have a king. His name is Rizu. But because he is a king of the gods, he deserves to have adamantine armor and a flame sword of terror, which is a legendary item. So the orcs are going to have to deal with him if they want to get past the center of the island. So far everyone's living in relative harmony, but we're running out of room on the island very quickly. Even the human empire here is starting to infringe on the orc empire here. They're over the middle of the island. Someone just declared war on someone. I'm not entirely sure where that is. Also not sure what's counting down here. That might be some kind of new research. This empire seems pretty good. They did take the center of the island with all the gold. Probably a wise move on their part. The population for the first time is about to break 1,000 idiots. Never mind, that was apparently our peak. We're not allowed to go above 1,000. There's not enough space. Okay, these guys up here are fighting. These guys are fighting this empire. Whoever wins are gonna just take over and they're going to become one empire, that's fine. It'd be nice to have one empire over here anyway versus one empire there. Well, they can fight all they want. They're going to reduce each other's numbers. They're fighting for resources. I never really factored in the fact that they would fight each other like their own races. But that's fine. Ultimately, there's only going to be one survivor on this island. I don't care who it is. I've made my King of the Gods here have a star over his head so we always know where he is. Because he's the single most destructive and powerful entity on this island. The idiots, fittingly, have lost a lot of their numbers. They didn't really get a very good start, but they still have 100 population. It's a strangely peaceful world considering how many hateful orcs there are on it. I don't know how the humans feel about the orcs, but the orcs don't like humans. Population jumped up to about 1100 though, so things are still thriving. These humans down here in the lower left currently have the biggest human empire at 96 people. They're probably pretty advanced. They also have a standing army of 29 people. Yeah, they're doing pretty good. They're level 9 culture level. They have swords, weapon production. That's why they can make as good of stuff as they can. They just broke 100, so that's actually matching about the biggest orc army. So intelligence is clearly winning out. Because if we went 100 gods versus 100 idiots, the gods are going to destroy them. There's a foreign enemy wandering through your... Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Get out of here. I don't know why it took him so long to attack that guy. It wasn't until he started mining the gold that everyone had an issue with him. There's definitely a fight going on. It looks like some actually smaller humans. As time goes on, generations might evolve to the point where they kind of lose some of their traits. Also never really considered that, but the gods that are on the map are immortal, so they're going to be super strong regardless. They're going to be the leaders of this place, like this guy. And at this point, I can give people the traits because I think they bred out a lot of their traits on both sides. So these are the god positive traits. So let's go ahead and top these guys up a little bit. And then we're going to re-stupid this side of the island. This basically makes them stupid, weak, and short-sighted, so they can't even see what they're attacking. Alright guys, continue on as you were. I have a feeling that might let the humans push through the orcs pretty easily because numbers-wise, intelligence clearly took over. Because they had way fewer numbers on this side, but they're probably close to their population. Considering their biggest empire is close to their biggest empire, but these guys are much, much stronger. Look at that army. 43 soldiers. And they can make bows, so they can do ranged attacks if they want to. So let's compare that to the original idiots. They have an army of 23, which is respectable enough. And they're getting there, but you can see their knowledge gain is like half of what the humans are because they're pretty stupid. They get some stuff, but not as good as the gods. Plus, I'm pretty sure they just cannot stop causing a war with each other, so that's always going to hold them back. I hear fireworks. Someone is celebrating. Are you guys attacking? Are they putting out a fire? Are you starting a fire? Oh, the fireworks probably caused a fire. You guys are supposed to be geniuses. You're lighting yourselves on fire. Yep. Oh, actually, maybe they're fighting. Well, that's all well and good. They'll... thin out the herd. Both of them are pretty strong. 114 versus 130. These blue guys really took off suddenly. You guys know there's stupid orcs on the other side of the island, right? Well, who am I to intervene? I'm just gonna let these guys do their thing. They're the geniuses, so I'm sure they have it under control. I think this bannerman is like the center of the army, so where he goes, the army follows. He died, which means the army died. They took some losses, not too bad. This army up here, Empire, joined together, so now they're actually pretty big size themselves. These guys are pretty big too, though. Yeah, everyone's slowly kind of moving together. The original Gods colony seems to be falling behind. I think all the smart ones left. The smarter smart ones. My superstar is still alive, making his rounds. He's still got lots of food and all his weapons. Great. I think he's going to be the sole survivor at the end of this. It's also curious that no one's gone for the Mushroom Islands yet. This is just good real estate. There's lots of animals and food and wood. Everyone ignores that.
A lesser man would die here.
Think something was happening there, but as soon as I looked, they stopped. So let's turn speed back up and wait for another war to happen. I want conquest. These guys up here are kind of flurrying around. They might be fighting right here. Where are you guys going? Okay, they're crossing a kingdom to come deep into enemy territory for some reason. Okay, he's just wandering around. Well, he is pretty stupid, so he probably just doesn't understand where he is or what he's doing. Because usually colonies wouldn't take kindly to a foreign army marching through the center of their downtown core. I think they actually came all the way over here to attack this empire because they're the weakest over here. So we have a battle of the orcs fighting the original gods. Maybe that's why they didn't like them. They're the originals. Don't worry though, this one has a big stick. He's gonna beat the orcs into submission. Can they fight them? They might. No, actually the orcs are enough to overpower them with those numbers. though they'll hurt their numbers pretty bad. I'm not sure if these guys even had an army. That might be part of the problem. They weren't very civilized as far as these villages go. And that's probably why they attacked. They saw a bunch of real estate and no army to have to fight. But an individual god is still pretty strong. These idiots lit the village on fire. That's going to spread everywhere now. So they might have accidentally just achieved a large victory. These blue guys in the middle are pretty strong. Orcs are going to have trouble pushing through that. This fire, however, is probably going to cause a lot of issues. The gods' empire just collapsed, but I'm pretty sure the other gods are going to move into that. Also, I'm pretty sure they're fireproof and the orcs are not. I kind of forgot about that, so the orcs are definitely not smart by lighting everything on fire. They're going to die and the humans are going to laugh at them. That fire, however, will spread around and destroy other villages. They might have a means of putting it out because they seem to have stopped it down here. This fire is going up here. This will all repair itself eventually. This center empire is definitely getting strong though. I will say it's pretty impressive that I think this army came in and destroyed a human settlement considering how much stronger the humans are. That was ironically smart of them to do even though they're complete morons. That might have been more of a happy accident. Look who finally decided to make a boat. Maybe they're going to start colonizing one of these islands. What are you guys doing? There's no one here. Go take that. That's your empire now. Might want to do something about that fire that's about to walk through your village. I think they're putting it out, or they're trying to. They themselves are fireproof. Their villages are not. Ah, there we go. See, their empires expand. This is all one empire now. That's huge. So there's about 400 people in this one, which makes it about the biggest empire, maybe not compared to that one, but that's really strong because they're all super strong. So as soon as this little scar heals, that's going to be good real estate for them. The single biggest part of that empire has an army of 51 people. They're level 16 with 6.3 knowledge gain, so they're really making progress because they're super smart. They have bronze bows in their army. And bronze good sort of power. Wow, they're actually arming themselves pretty good. This one even has a rare weapon. Alright, this is where intelligence is going to thrive because they're just going to get way better material than their idiot orc friends who are armed with wood sticks. I also didn't realize the population got up to 2,500 already. They actually grew pretty big. I didn't think the island could support this. The humans are basically divided into 3 empires now. The blue ones, the pale white ones, and the purple ones. So as time goes on, we get fewer and fewer nations, so to speak. And eventually they're going to take over each other. So there's going to be entirely 1 or 2 left on the island. And the purple orcs? No, those are the humans. They were up here attacking someone up here for a sec. They might have had to go back because they realized they're losing the battle. We can actually have a quick overview of everything here. The biggest population is on the orc side. They have a standing army of 103, but they're not going to be able to keep up with the humans. They have a bigger army that are much better armed, along with the holy ho and the bloody as. I didn't make these myself. These are just what the game gave me and I'm all about it. Oh, we got a pretty big fight going on here. Let's slow this down a little bit. So I think these guys have decided to attack the humans who are much better armed and much more dangerous. They're losing numbers pretty quickly. The humans should destroy them, especially with bows and arrows against wooden sticks. Yeah, I think the orcs are learning their lesson. The humans are probably going to march in there next and destroy them. Wait, they regrouped. They've gathered more sticks. No, they're just kind of... Oh wait, these are the humans. These are just the later generation, so they're not really gods anymore. They probably have pieces of that in them. Gluttonous and greedy. Well, they evolved in a poor way. I really thought these guys had a better army. They lit a fire in the middle of the orcs camp. Orcs aren't fireproof, so that's kind of funny. Someone here was smart enough to start fishing, which was these guys, the blue guys in the center that are really actually starting to take over. And someone started a fire again. They do seem to be able to put them out though. This one here broke off into its own empire for some reason. That's fine. I'm pretty sure the humans still hold a massive advantage. And my king is still alive, 620 health. He's also happy and likes berries. I really didn't think the island could support this much of a population, but I guess once they get enough people organized into houses and get their farming going, turns out they can. Oh, we about to have a big fight? Somebody? Anybody? Hit them with your sticks. Maybe they're just sitting there on the border, trying to provoke them into fighting. Okay, there's a really big orc empire right down the center now, stopping anyone going in between. That's like 1,000 people. 1,000 people armed with sticks. And he's a pyromaniac. That's great. That's why there's so many fires being started. They're stupid idiots lighting everything on fire. Wow, they just took another empire. The orcs are actually going to all take over into this empire. Okay, and this pale white empire is actually losing to this blue one again, so things are changing quickly. Okay, I do want to give them just a little more real estate to work with, so I'm going to connect them over to Mushroom Island on both sides, somewhat evenly. That way they can go ahead and fight over that as well. This one's going to be a little trickier. We're going to go like way up here or something, just because I don't want to interrupt their fishing and trading that they work so hard on, but I'm going to anyway. There we go, a land bridge. It's beautiful. And yeah, someone's in a hurry to get down there and start their very own empire. They got right out of there. The boats can actually slip through there. Oh, I didn't realize that. So both upper and lower, the humans were first to expand. There's going to be orcs in the area. Everyone's going to fight over food and resources up there. But the central blue empire for the humans is looking ridiculously strong now because they've got 1,000 people in their empire. Great U is definitely the strongest. They have 200 less people than this one, but a much bigger army and much more advanced civilization. They're level 18 now, and look, they have armor protection too. Armor's going to put them over the top. They have an assortment of different weapons. Like that one's got a stone crooked axe. This one's got a stone spear. This one's also got a stone spear, but they've been all sorts of different weapons throughout these guys. But they are kind of running out of resources quickly. That's why I wanted to give them room to go to the islands. That way they could have to try and go fight over those. The Orc Island Empire broke up again a little bit, but so far one side hasn't really dominated the other yet. The humans, to be fair, are largely leaving the orcs alone. And I'm going to try and give this a little passage through for the boats to pass through if I can. I don't know if that's going to work because that might actually block off the other guys. They will swim across that though, so the boats come in and out, and we'll do some shallow water maybe. Because that boat's obviously stuck, and that's bad for whoever owns it. Well, if they're really that smart, they'd learn to build bridges, so they're on their own there. I can't help them anymore. I originally thought this was a different empire, but I'm pretty sure that's actually all the same now. So that's kind of the central empire for the world. The orcs are kind of falling apart. Everyone's migrating up here. But since we have a population of about 3,200, a stable population, let's add a little bit of bloodlust and paranoia to maybe about the entire world. Then everyone's going to want to fight everyone, and we're going to find out who's really the strongest.
Oh, how awful.
Today's forecast is calling for a little bit of anger.
To shreds, you say?
Alright, now that everyone's good and aggressive, let's find out exactly what that means for our dear little world. Well, a king just died somewhere. So far, it looks like the armies are kind of grouping up, getting ready to fight somewhere. These orange guys are ready to go, and they're armed with sticks. They mean business. Oh, here we go. We got a big army, big battle going down between our superhuman gods here and one of the orc armies. So they're getting in there, and they really take you to those orcs. They're not holding up at all. Well, they did need a little more. Yeah, they're taking it over rapidly. They're basically going to convert them all to their empire now. And I don't know if they're going to stop there. They might just keep going and going. They might as well. They have the biggest army by far, even if a lot of them are now armed with sticks because, well, they took over the stick army. The global population is still 3,300, so I think they're coming to fight purple now. They did wipe out the army, but they converted a lot of those people over to their empire, so we didn't actually lose a lot. Would you guys go attack them already? Your army's sitting there for a reason. One of your armies, they have several. Okay, spite. Force a kingdom to start a war. You? Start a war. Great U is declaring war on someone. While we're at it, this kingdom, this kingdom, this kingdom, this kingdom, this one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. This is what we call a world war. Everyone should be trying to fight everyone. Yep, they're moving in here in force. Here come the big boys, so they're gonna mow through these orcs in no time at all. So it really does look like the genius level gods are considerably stronger than stupid orcs. Probably not that surprising overall. Wow, they really took over this entire island. They pushed the orcs right out. Again, not a surprise, the orcs aren't very strong. They were supposed to have the numbers, and they did at first, but they were too stupid to know what to do with that, so they ended up dying. They're really pushing their empire in there aggressively. Burning everything to the ground is a nice touch too. Usually we do that without a war happening, but today we have the benefit of a war. And these guys are also fighting down here. This is these guys, so the orcs are getting pushed on everywhere. The humans over here didn't seem to fight or didn't want to fight. They might be too smart, so they just didn't. Looks like the humans over here also kind of fell back a little bit. They lit things on fire though. Down here, however, they are not stopping for anyone. They're just going around lighting everything on fire as they go. They're actually just a really strong army. Why does one have like a fire sword? What is that? Hello? Is it the silver sword? Okay, hold on. Where is he? You? Oh, that's my old hero. This empire literally has one person left. You guys might as well take that out. So these blue guys have expanded their territory a little bit. They got pushed back here after they lit everything on fire in kind of a no man's zone. Great U has definitely come out on top as the dominant. The reason everyone stopped fighting was because they lost most of their armies. Great U still has the biggest army and the biggest population. So we're going to make them start a war with whoever we can. I think this is actually commanding people to start wars with each other if I'm understanding that correctly. Oh yeah, it is. We get to pick who's fighting who. So I think we just made Great U here fight these guys. So as soon as they assemble their army, they'll be murdering all the orcs. Oh, these orcs do come armed with bows and arrows. Well, they're not good bows and arrows. They basically tied a string onto the sticks they loved so much. But it did create a bow and arrow. Oh, so the blue guys are actually busy fighting a war on this side too. So they're actually getting a fight on both fronts. No, that's okay. We'll see how this plays out. I think they're probably going to overrun these guys pretty easily because this army is pretty much unstoppable at this point. They're going to take over their army. They're going to take over this, and then they can push back over here where their village is being burned. There we go. We're almost there. Another 50% to go, and this is turning blue. That's a big boost to these guys. Look at how much of the map is blue now. They're still having a pretty good fight here, so let's make sure that continues on. We're going to make blue fight these guys, and then we're going to make these blue fight these guys. Not sure what they've got left for armies at this point, but they're going to give it their best. This blue empire in the middle is just running through everyone. I think they've also still got their flame sword guy running around, the king of the gods. He's really not stopping for anything. Actually, I see him right here. He's a little bit hard to see, but he's still there lighting everything on fire. I mean, he's hardly even lost any health. Yeah, these blue humans are destroying absolutely everyone along the way. No one can keep up with their army. There were just too many of them and they were too well armed. This place is about to fall. We're not turning them into our empire. We're just destroying them entirely. There's free real estate on the map.
It's free.
But you guys aren't done there. You guys are going to fight you. So this whole army is going to walk straight into here and pretty much do the same thing unless this army can repel them, but I don't think they can. Their army is currently here. He's actually armed with copper armor and stuff. They were doing bad and he's got a legendary weapon all by himself. I'm going to make this guy a favorite because he was obviously very well armed and he's a pyromaniac, but that's a really cool weapon. He might literally be the last unit in their army though. Oh, there he goes. He's coming in to fight. He's coming in to supervise the fighting. You don't even have a weapon. Are these guys wearing diapers? It looks like they're wearing diapers. Yeah, he's actually running around doing some damage. He's not getting right into the middle of fighting, but he might be more of a commander. But when he does get close, he's able to hurt some. Never mind. The humans are still too strong. And their blue empire is pushing strong. Oh, the orange actually sent their empire or their guys all the way over to here. So they've actually opened up a lot of ground for Blue Empire to take over. The Blues are still going strong. They've still got lots of their army going. They're just taking some time to chew through these guys. But not really. They're down to 100 people. They're down to 90 people. So Great U is just getting stronger and stronger as this goes on. But so is Pocod of Death somehow. Their army is quite small at this point, but there's only basically 300 army people left in the world. 212 of which belong to Great U, so they're just gonna win. I think their armies are a little bit spread out right now, but there's just a lot of map to be destroying, so they're having a good time. These guys are actually fighting pretty good though. They actually pushed all the way back in here, where they're unfortunately going to be surrounded. There's only 3 donuts left. Right, they have fallen. So now the blue guys should retreat a little bit, and then it's going to be Big Empire versus Big Empire. That is a lot of good real estate, but it is a little bit on fire. Alright. Blue God Empire fight Stupid Orc Empire. This will basically be the final battle for the world. Given the army is way outnumbered, the human gods should win very easily. They're already pushing this little trench out of their territory. They weren't very happy about that. Everything else is about to be destroyed. Oh, here comes the archers. They're fighting back. We also have archers. I think that guy just threw a Molotov if I saw that correctly. Don't know where he got that. I'm not going to ask questions. Our guys are armed with silver bows and stuff at this point, so they're obviously pretty strong. And the rest of their army just came from somewhere in the west. They might have been fighting these guys. But now they're coming in here full force. So yeah, these guys are doomed. Look at their numbers drop. And then Gian up here is just living the peaceful life in the mushrooms. Would be a shame if something happened to them. I want that to be a warning to everyone else on this map. That's what happens to pacifists. If you're not fighting someone, you're gonna get bombed. These guys are being taken out by one single soldier. Maybe there was 2, but they've started a new empire down here. Yeah, the army's slowly making their way through. I don't know why these guys wanted to start a village in a radioactive wasteland. But they did. Okay, Great U is up to 1,500 population. Their army shrank to 150, but they're fighting 6 soldiers of Orange and 40 for these guys wherever they might be hiding. Okay, I think they're about to crush the last Radez wherever he's hiding. Okay, the Radez guys have fallen. We're going to try and take this next because we just need to push them out of this territory and up. Plaza, I don't think this small little encampment is going to stand up to the superior army. Because it turns out these guys are pretty strong. Even just armed with pretty basic stuff, they're going to overpower these little orcs. Okay, they're completely dead. So now we're going to fight these guys. I didn't even have to tell them to fight that one. They just kept going thanks to their bloodlust. But just to make sure we have all hands on deck, you guys fight you. We're going straight for idiots. So the army, there's several armies now. just because we have so many people in military guys, I think. Wow, look at their house. 320 people. Look at all the resources they have. I don't know if they got that by honest mining or by pillaging. They also have heroes under rare knowledge, but look at all this stuff. They have spears, they have hammers. They did so well with all their intelligence. They even have roads and wells so they can produce their own water. Great U suffered some big losses trying to take out these guys, Pokad of Death, but they only have 9 soldiers left to get through. There are several armies moving in and out of the area. I'm not really sure what their strategy is. Doesn't matter because just fight. We did just kill the king of Pokad of Death. Obviously, they made a new one right away, but he's soon to die too. I just saw the military commander of these guys die somewhere there. They still have quite a population, though. They're not going without a fight. There is also a large army sitting down here. I guess technically it's these guys, so I'm going to push them in too. So let's go on a full assault. You guys are fighting them. I think you're a different army, so you're fighting them. You're fighting them. Turning it up to speed number 5, we can watch the blue soldiers come in and just destroy. They have to walk a long ways. I think that's part of why it's taking as long as it is. Kopads is about to fall. Idiots won't be far behind, but they're an original empire that are doing very well, so I'm very proud of them. Okay, we have another blue commander who's got a legendary weapon. It's a bow, copper, bronze. He's got really good stuff. I didn't give him any of that. He just had it. I do think he is one of the original gods, though. That's why he's bigger as soon as we catch up to him. Never mind, I think he actually died. We get so spread out by the time they get to there that they just end up dying to the orcs, and then they have a counterattack. They're having trouble getting that last little bit. But I think it's pretty safe to say the humans win this. So I'm going to turn this up to sonic speed, and we're just going to let this play out for a while. It's kind of a war of attrition. Both sides are losing just a little bit, but they've got less to give. So Kopads is still hanging on, but they're so close to dead. We had another purple breakaway empire down here, so that might distract the blue guys in the center. Many years later, Kopads has officially been pushed back. It's 1 person left. But the blue took all of this real estate. But they're about to push in with a mega army right here, which is going to absolutely decimate them. I don't really know where that came from. I think it might have been somewhere down here. They just swarmed in, and look at that number drop. So the idiots are in a bad spot. That army came from somewhere in the south and decided to just steamroll them. And that's crazy now because Kopads was down to 1 person. When Idiots was at like 300, now Kopads has more people than Idiots does. Okay, Idiots was officially eliminated. Kopads is not far behind because now the armies can focus. And with that, I would say is a pretty definitive victory for the humans. There's 10 of them left. The army moves in. They're gone. 2 people left. Orcs are officially eliminated. So, super intelligent gods are better than lots of many stupid orcs. The end. I didn't know I got an achievement for doing that, but that should about finish off the world. Literally 1 survivor.